Welcome back to Arrakis Central. Please remember to like and subscribe and click the bell notifications if you like this content. With the release of Dune Prophecy and the first 3 episodes being released, there are a few questions I've seen around forums and social media asking about the origins of the spice in the show and how they have knowledge of the spice already. In the beginning, during the Butlerian Jihad books in the early days of those novels, it is shown that spice is already well known to humans and used for recreational purposes and some medicinal purposes already. We see in the beginning of the books is that there are already spice harvesting operations occurring on Arrakis, just not to the extent that we see later down the road when spice is needed for space folding. But during the events of the Butlerian Jihad, specifically in the books Butlerian Jihad, Machine Crusade, and the Battle of Corran, it is discussed 2 major events that occur with spice. The first being that the discovery of spice gas can be used to elevate the consciousness to allow a person to see all the deep space calculations and safe paths through the stars in order to chart space folding navigational jumps. This was discovered by Norma Senva. In fact, she was the one who perfected the fold space engines, produced by Theo Holtzman. Originally, during these events, those folding space engines and the calculations were done by AI supercomputers. But since AI was being banned during this time, they had to resort to a different form of space navigation. This being the revelation of spice gas. Another event during the Butlerian Jihad was when the Erasmus develops a nerve agent or virus, so to speak, and starts using that to kill off entire planets, or attempting to kill off entire planets of humans with dumb-fired missiles that can get through the Holtzman EMP shields that protect many of the free worlds. This event during the Butlerian Jihad was called the Omnious Scourge, and it was almost unsurvivable at this point to be afflicted by this bioweapon. But it was Raquel Alberto Enrol that discovered the use of spice as a vaccine or preventative, so to speak, against this scourge or virus. But at the end of the Butlerian Jihad, once humans were victorious against the Omnius and AI thinking machines, the need for spice, since AI is now banned, was more important than ever. But one person or one family had the monopoly on the spice harvesting and the way to make a Spacing Guild navigator. And that was Venport, Joseph Venport later on, and Venport Holdings, which was his company. So originally, spice navigator production was monopolized and privatized by this rich conglomerate. So going to be a large point of contention during the later books, Sisterhood, Mentats, and Navigators, when a full-fledged civil war erupts over spice production on Arrakis, and that the Imperium, meaning Emperor Salvador and his brother Roderick, will try to attempt to take control over spice harvesting production on Arrakis. Joseph Venport sees this as a threat to his business, and he will assassinate the sitting Emperor Salvador at that time. This is taking place during those books. So during the flashbacks in Dune Prophecy, when we see young Valia and young Tula, this is a side plot that is happening behind the scenes, which they are not directly involved with, but it is in the books. But finally, at the end of that civil war, Norma Senva basically allows the Imperium to wipe out Venport Holdings, and then the final act to save her grandson, which is Joseph Venport, opens her chamber on her spice tank and tells him to get in and become a spice navigator. It's the only way that she could save him from being basically or killed by the Emperor, which is now Emperor Roderick. But I hope this gives you a little more insight into the importance of spice and how it actually is in full-fledged production at this point, as seen in the 2021 and 2024 Dune movies. And some aspects even more important, as a strong foundation of spice harvesting has not actually been set at this point, and it's very shaky, and it's a more delicate process during these times. But if you did find this information useful, please remember to like and subscribe and hit the bell notifications, and I will talk to you next time.